Hey friends, Powwow Guy Rob Phoenix here. Hope you're all doing well. It is Sunday, September 15th, 2 days away from the full moon. The full moon in September is also known as the harvest moon. So the harvest moon is pretty much kind of what it sounds like. It's that time of year when we harvest the last of our stuff. Um, we're still getting tomatoes and green peppers from the garden. Everything else is done. I've removed all those plants from the vegetable garden and such, but we do still have tomatoes and green peppers coming in. Today I went out with the basket and I got a bunch of tomatoes, and I mean, nothing beats your own tomatoes. Just the taste of them is so much better than anything you can get in the grocery store. So anyway, harvest moon coming up, and it's time to like do your annual harvest. I mean, it's just that time of year. We're moving into fall. It already feels like fall. I don't know if you could tell, but like the leaves are changing colors around and behind me. And that's a good thing. I love this time of year. I love as it gets cooler. Like in my mind, when September 1st gets here, I want it to be cool. But like here in South Central Pennsylvania, we still have like 85 degrees, 90 degrees, whatever. So the morning might start off as nice and you put a sweatshirt on and you feel all cozy with your hot coffee or whatever. But then by like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, it's 90 degrees. So yeah, it's kind of that strange time, but we're sort of in between seasons right now. But that's okay. Like eventually the cooler days will come. I'm very excited for Halloween. I love Halloween. I have a really good costume this year. I can't wait for it. And I can't wait for tricks or treats. I have tons of children's books. And this year I'm going to be giving out hot homemade cider. We're doing that this year. So we'll see how that goes. Um, yeah, so the fall has a lot to look forward to. It's the harvest. It's time to like cut everything back, clean it up, get it ready for winter, put your mulch down and all that such, and just prepare for winter. Like where I live here in South Central Pennsylvania, we don't get a lot of rain and we don't get a lot of snow. We're in this weird Cumberland Valley. Is very strange weather-wise. And as the earth kind of gets warmer and warmer, every year we get less and less snow and rain. It just is what it is. We become a little more tropical almost. So there are a lot of places in the world where we see effects of climate change and such with. But I think we're one of those places. It's subtle and it takes a long time, but I believe we're seeing the effects of climate change, even here in Cumberland County, Pennsylvania. Um, but since we're moving into that darker time, I wanted to talk more about like distance healing for powwow. Like when you're a powwower, you can heal by a distance. And the very best method to do that is with your throw stick, your powwow cane, your powwow stick, your powwow walking stick, whatever you want to call it. It's your stick. Like here's mine. I got this at the Kutztown Folk Festival some years ago. And generally speaking, a powwow cane or a powwow stick is twisted. You see how that it's twisted, like another plant had grown up around the tree that this came from and caused this permanent sort of spiral. And what that means is it was created from two different plants. So therefore, the stick represents two different worlds. It represents your grounding in the physical, but also your ability to travel the spirit road. Um, so Power travels what's called the spirit road, and it's where we use our throw stick as a focal point where we hang on to it, we rest our forehead against it, we close our eyes, and we throw our spirits out of our body. We throw our spirits along onto the spirit road. We travel to the person that we are seeking to help from a distance. We work the powwow ritual or healing prescription or charm over that individual, and then we find our way back to our body, and there it is. I mean, it sounds simplistic, and it really is. Like you have to kind of think of it in a simplistic term. Like you literally just relax yourself, seat yourself upright, put your forehead against your stick. That represents like the bottom of the stick represents your grounding in the earth. The middle of the stick represents your mind. The top of the stick represents up in heaven. In your mind, you close your eyes and you throw yourself out of your body. Just go out of your body, go to the person that you're trying for, see their spirit, do the healing ritual and prescription over them, and then come back to yourself, thank God for your work, and move forth. One of the things I do kind of want to put out there and ask you guys, like my throw stick is mostly kept outside. And so it's kind of getting dried out and a little bit like chipping off. And is there something natural I can do? Like, I know I want to sand it a little bit. Um, See, like bits are kind of like chipping off and such. I want to sand it. But is there some sort of natural sort of coating I could put on it? I don't want to cover it in like some chemical laden varnish or something. I'd rather do something natural that will help it like, have that kind of like how it has a shine and it's sealed against the elements and such. So if anybody knows of anything natural, please let me know. Um, but anyway, that's the throw stick. That's the powwow stick, the powwow cane, the powwow walking stick, whatever you want to call it, the brogger stick, the throw stick. That's what you use it for. One of the uses, it has three primary uses, but one of the main uses is to act as a focal point where you throw your spirit out there and work on the person that you're trying for via distance. So anyway, as we move into this like sort of quote unquote darker time of year, it's important to remember that we have to start taking stock of the things that we need, like dry your herbs, get rid of the old herbs that, the old dried herbs, they do kind of get stale after a year or two. Get rid of them. Your new dried herbs, put in your jars. You want to take stock because it's time to start thinking about like inside your house. It's time to start thinking about like, okay, we're moving from the outdoors to the indoors, and start brewing up your tinctures and your salves and such to get you through the winter and the spring. Also, you can make gifts for people in the form of tinctures, salves, liniments, ointments, that sort of thing. Even your own herbal teas and such. You can, you know, get your herbal, your dried herbs together and such and give them as gifts to people. This is a really good time of year to give gifts. And we're using like today we're cooking. It's very much a fall dish. It's like roasted pork and roasted veggies and carrots and onions and potatoes and such, and doing all like a lot of our own herbs and such. I mean, it's just now's the time of year. I mean, it's still warm out, but right now the temperature's a little bit reduced. We don't have the humidity that we normally do in the summer, but yeah, it's starting to turn into fall. I'm really happy about that. So yeah, as a powwower, it's time to like start working with the seasons, start working with your dried herbs, whatever you can get salvaged from your garden at this time of year. It's time to start roasting that up and using that. I mean, your comfort foods. It's time to start thinking about your distance healing, because chances are like you might not want to travel in the colder temperatures. You might get a lot of snow where you live, so it's important to know how to do distance, and so that's why your throw stick comes in handy. So that's all I really have to say for tonight. Full moon 2 days. Looking forward to that. I don't know if you can hear